Hi, my name is Missy. So I'm going to do a slightly different reading today. As you can see, we have kind of a bunch of decks here. I want to go ahead and talk about the decks that we have. But before I talk about the decks that we have and why we have, I want to talk about why we have them here and what kind of reading this is that I want to do. So if you have been following me for any length of time, you know that I'm not only a tarot reader and psychic, I'm also an astrologer. And so right now we have something happening in the astrology, being a Mars-Venus opposition that will be happening in a couple of days. I think is going to be pretty important, right? Because I think there are going to be a lot of people who may end up having either an argument or something explosive could happen with Mars in retrograde in Gemini opposing Venus and Mercury in Sagittarius. Now, as I'm getting ready to explain this, I need to, I'm probably going to, oh, hold on, I need to make sure that I've got the right chart here. I think this is the one that I want. Okay, so what I'm probably going to do is edit in a picture of what the chart actually looks like so that you'll be able to see what I'm talking about as I'm talking about it. But as I was saying, as interesting too, because, you know, I already have my earbuds in as I normally do, and we have the song I'm Moving On by Rascal Flatts. So I think this is definitely kind of going to be the energy that's happening for quite a few people. But I think beyond that, I think, look, let's be real. There are going to be quite a few people that maybe if you're moving on from them, there could be something explosive that happens, or some sort of deception or betrayal that you discover, something, right? And so what I wanted to do is make the focus of this reading, you know, let the ancestors handle it, basically, I think is what I'm going to name it. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to name it something like that. I want to look at, you know, what justice are you crying out for, basically? And the reason that I say that is because right now, as I'm recording this video, and I'm looking at the astrology, I can see that as we're talking, we have the Moon and Pluto in conjunction, and that happens to be in Capricorn. And it is opposing Pallas Athena. And Pallas Athena it carries the energy of, you know, standing up for yourself, fighting for your rights, fighting for the underdog, fighting for feminine issues as well. You know, and these can be, you know, with Moon-Pluto conjunction, these can be very deep traumatic issues where maybe you feel like you need justice for something that was deep and traumatic, and yet you can't do anything about it physically, right? Or maybe you know, I mean, you just can't do anything about it physically other than moving on, and allowing the ancestors to take care of it. So, you know, sometimes, let's be real about what it's like to be human. Sometimes, you know, what we need to move on is the assurance of what kind of justice will be collected on our behalf, right? Sometimes just knowing that there will be some sort of justice collected on our behalf is what helps us to move on. So even though this is a little bit of a dark subject, I feel like it's a necessary subject because I do feel that with the astrology, as I say, you know, I think it's the 30th that we're going to have the exact opposition between Mars, Venus, and Mercury. But right as I'm recording this right now, Venus is sitting at 14 degrees of Sagittarius, and Mercury is at 16 degrees of Sagittarius, while Mars is currently at 20 degrees of Gemini. So, you know, the energy is coming into aspect, or into exact opposition, right? It's moving towards the aspect. So you could even be feeling that energy right now. You may have already had something happen, you know, where maybe you exploded and lost your temper. We have the song Little Boy by Ashniko, and it, just as I was saying that, part of the lyrics as she's saying is, little boy, who you think you're talking to? You know, so again, with Mars in Gemini, especially Mars in retrograde in Gemini, opposing Mercury in Sagittarius. Mercury is Gemini's ruler, so being in the house opposing him, you know, and opposing Mars, which is angry words, right? That means that obviously there's something that either you really truly believe, you know, to be right and true, right? This is what you believe to be, like according to your personal values, what is right and true, and yet there's probably someone opposing you. And it very well could be that this person that's opposing you believes that their side is on the right side as well. And in those situations, sometimes you can't do anything to get justice, right? Sometimes you have to walk away, you have to step back. But you know that there was some sort of something nefarious somewhere, right? And let your ancestors handle it. So let's talk about the decks that we have that we're gonna use. Let me close out my screen so that I can now see what's on, what's being recorded. So we have a couple of new decks for me here. This one here, I already made some reels on Facebook with it, and I loved it so much that I knew the next set of readings that I wanted to post on YouTube, I knew I wanted to include it. And so this is Supernatural Join the Hunt Tarot deck and guidebook. It's just the expressions on their faces and just, you know, I was feeling a whole lot as I was using this particular deck here for the reels that well, actually, I don't think I've even posted any of the reels yet. I think today is going to be the first one. So, and one of them I post 3 reels per day. You know, I do that because you got to post every day when you're posting reels to keep the attention, right? So if I post 3, that means 3 signs each day are going to get a reading on Facebook. So there's going to be 3 probably posted by the time this particular video goes up on YouTube. So you might be able to go and check out those reels if you want. So that is the Supernatural Join the Hunt Tarot Deck and Guidebook. This is what the box looks like. It's a nice box. And I'm showing this because I don't know, actually I have to be really honest, I was just at the psychic fair in Carlsbad and I sold a bunch of decks and I haven't had a chance to go through my inventory to see if I even have any of these left. But I did have everything that well, almost everything with the exception of this one here, I have for sale, and I'm going to post it on my website as well. Because, you know, when I bought a deck for myself, I bought an extra one to sell just in case somebody else really liked it. Because I've had people ask me before when I was doing live readings on Facebook, you know, hey, do you sell decks? So I do sell. It's what I've always wanted to do, is sell decks so that I can see and find as many as possible, because I have a bit of an addiction, a bit of an obsession with tarot decks. I have so many of them, it's not even funny. But anyway, that's not even the point. So here's the book here. Oh, interesting. So that's not good. And you know, we got to be real, especially if I'm going to try to sell it or whatever. Now, I don't know if it's just this particular book or not, but anyway, I was going to say it was made very sturdy, but I don't know now. Anyway, this is what the book looks like. So yeah, just that there. I'm gonna have to be careful. I don't, to be honest with you, I don't typically read the books for my tarot decks when I'm using them. So this right here isn't gonna really bother me too much, but if you read your books a lot, it probably will bother you. However, I have been reading this one, as you can see, and it's because it is from the series. And so if you understand, like if you know the names of the people and you understand what's going on, or like who the people are from the series, you're going to give much better readings with this deck here. And although I did watch the series, it's been so long since I watched it, and I don't think I watched the full thing, so there's some characters in here that I needed to reacquaint myself with. So but it's a really good, I thought it, you know, other than this little issue here, I think it's, other than that, pretty well made. It looks pretty sturdy. So that's not going to bother me personally too much. Let's go ahead and move on to some of these other decks before we get into the readings. So now we have the Macabre Tarot, which is this deck here, but I want to show you this because I love the box, but what else I love about the box is this. Oh wait, it's not doing it right now. It was like doing a squeaky hingy thing, and now it's not. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's messing up. Interesting. So I'm kind of disappointed with both of these now. I gotta say, like 2 or 3 times I've opened this thing and it had this squeaky hinge noise, and now I'm trying to do it to show everybody else and it doesn't. So you hear it? It's all jacked up now. Very disappointing. Very disappointing, because that was like the best feature about it, was the box and the fact that it made that noise. I mean, the cards themselves are really cute, but just for the extra price that I've got to be really honest, for the extra price that they're asking for this one, and look at, I have an extra one to sell. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if I'm going to put it up or not, because I am a little disappointed at that, because that was the thing that I loved the most about this one, was the fact that it had that squeaky whatever, and I guess there's a battery right here where I can change it, but who wants to do that just to have their box keep squeaking? Anyway, so we'll put the box over there. Here's the cards, though. The cards are awesome. Aren't they perfect for our subject matter today? And to go with the supernatural deck. Like, you'll see them more in the reading, but the cards are just awesome. They've got gilding. They feel good in my hands. They shuffle well, because I was shuffling them a little bit, playing with them earlier. Then we have this deck here, which is the Vlad Dracula deck. Now, this is the deck that was the one that gave me the subject for this particular reading. I knew I wanted to use this deck in any reading. I didn't care what kind of reading it was, and it's just because of the images, the faces, like their expressions, all of it was giving me so much in the reels, right? So then I opened this one and started playing around with it, and I was like, oh, this is giving me ideas for a reading. So here's what the box looks like. It's got that in there. We have the book. Here's the back of the box. A nice book. Feels like it's made the same way as the other one. This one's a little less stiff. I think the reason the other one did that is because the cover and everything was kind of stiff, but the book is very nice. And the man who did this, he actually makes another deck that I think I have, which is the Angel Tarot, and then he makes the Occult Tarot or something, I think. But anyway, so he did a lot of research. I was reading this one as well, because again, when it's a theme like this, it really helps to know the different stories that are behind each of the thing. Like, it can give you extra in the reading. Right now, I haven't had a chance to read this particular one too much, because as I was reading the introduction and the notes, and then I got to I think I got this far in right here, and I was like, oh my God, I've got an idea for a reading. So let's do it. And we're gonna figure out I haven't used any of these 3 decks here at all in any readings yet. I have used these 2. I used this one at the fair in Carlsbad recently, but let me show you these cards real quick, and then we'll start getting into... Oh wait, I forgot to talk about the Lenormand. So this is another one that's new to me. I don't know if it's new on the market or not, but this is the Laura Tuan Lenormand Oracle. I don't know if I said that correctly. Another nice box, very sturdy, very well made, with a book that's, again, very well made. Oh, yeah. It's got, it tells you like the different positions, past, present, unexpected. It tells you all the different things. Again, this, I haven't really read it or anything. I'm getting ready to check out this deck here with you guys on camera as well. And I planned on just using well, this is an oracle deck, but I plan on using this as just an oracle deck with like just using one card. So anyway, here is the Vlad Dracula deck. Has little sayings at the bottom, which we're going to get into when we get into the reading. I really like this deck as well. Very, you know, the images are very illustrative. Okay, we have the song Last Resort by Papa Roach. So again, the music is really fitting with the theme so far. And then this is the Lenormand. Very pretty. Yeah, very pretty images so far. Okay. So let me go ahead and clear these out of the way. I don't know if we're going to get charms or not. We'll see how the reading goes. But what we are going to do is I'm going to start with the group, or excuse me, not the group, the sign that has been, you know, the most watched. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. Hello, Taurus. Let's go ahead and get right into your reading with a couple oracle cards. We'll look at what is the injustice that you suffered. Then I want to see, like, what are the details, like who's involved and how are the ancestors going to handle it for you. And then finally, we'll look at what are the crystals that you can use that will help you personally to kind of heal and, you know, move through this or move forward, to let go. So let me get one more shuffle and then we'll get right into it. We had the song Sweet Leaf, Black Sabbath, as I was coming into the reading. Okay, interesting that this is coming out on the bottom. I'm not going to say too much about what it means yet because I want to see what this particular card is here. But first, let me get some more oracle cards. We have the song So Many Tears, Tupac, and it's exactly 11:22, so you might want to look up the lyrics to that as well as the angel number. We have the King on the bottom of the deck. So immediately we've got divine masculine energy coming through twice, because when you look at the lily in Lenormand, it can represent an older man, right? It's also the energy of a secret admirer, but this can be like wisdom. That's really what the lilies talk about. And you have the king depicted in the lilies and the king coming through here. So I do feel like this is the wisdom of somebody older and wiser than you, right? Like maybe you followed the wisdom of someone else. Let's see. Oh, look at. So, with the cross here, this is something that's long-term. It can be a little bit of a burden. It can feel heavy. It's also, you can't deny the aspect of faith coming through with the cross, especially when we're talking about the wisdom that someone else offered, or, you know, the wisdom that you, I guess, followed. Also, we can't deny the fact that this combination so far can be like a religious thing, right? Like maybe there's some sort of religious, like maybe this has to do with your parents and some sort of religious background. So we've got the palpating heart, and it came out like this, which is actually neither upright or reversed. And now that I think about it, the hanging man was in the neutral as well. Look at, they're all in the neutral, the sun, and then the hermit. With the exception of the palpating heart, this is an oracle deck, but every single other card here is calling to mind a tarot card. Like if you had all major arcana come out in a tarot reading, right? But I'm actually going to read from this book to see what it says about each one of these cards, because I don't want to read them the way that I would tarot cards. First, I'm going to do the King. I have a feeling we're going to get quite a bit of information right here just from these cards, because I feel like the fact that each one of these could correspond to a major arcana, like it's coming through, and they're all sitting in the neutral as well, with the exception of the star. But anyway, let me just read what it says, and then we'll get to it. So let's start with the palpating heart, only because it's the one that's kind of different. And as soon as I opened the book, it was the one that was sitting right there on the top. So I'm just going to read it both ways because it's in a neutral position. It's not upright or reverse. So in the upright, it says, our emotions can reveal themselves in odd ways. Take note of how others or the situation make you behave outside of your norm. This may say more about you than them. In the reverse, it may be time to confess your emotions to another for better or worse. Bottling them up does weird things to a person's heart. Interesting. Let's see what it says about the King. I guess if I can find it, huh? Okay, the King. A person or situation may hold power over you, but they are mostly puffery and old man anger. What did I say about an older... Let's read that again. A person or situation may hold power over you, but they are mostly puffery and old man anger. Don't let them control you. Watch the power you wield over others. Are you bringing out their best, or are you faulting their shortcomings? So I feel like because we're looking at what is the injustice that was done to you, this is someone who was probably in a position of power that, like, was really hard on you in some way. Could be an older man. Doesn't have to be. It could just be someone who's older and carries masculine energy, whether they're male or female. Let's see what the others have to say. We'll start with the Hanged Man. Did I tell you about this song, All American Girl, Carrie Underwood? Oh, interesting, because we're talking about a parent, a father. So this could be your father who, was harsh and only noticed your shortcomings, or whichever parent it was that was the disciplinarian, right? So the Hanged Man, it says, things might not be as normal as you're used to, but find what calms you. Pursue a hobby, interest, or person that keeps you sane. Things will normalize soon. Don't let your chill keep you from addressing a situation. Just because you're okay now doesn't mean it can't cause problems down the road if we don't seek our form of normalcy. we have, let's see, the star. It says, be a positive force and light. Everything around you may be dark, but there are others that will shine with you. Consider how much of the spotlight you're taking up. You may be bright and shining, but others are just as, if not more, of a force as yourself. Give them the room they need. And you know what? I just realized I was only meant to read that one in the upright because it was not neutral like the others. So, you know, I feel like this is saying the injustice that you suffered had to do with your father figure being very unfair to you, not recognizing the gift that they had, maybe while they were alive, is really how I'm feeling this particular reading. But let's read on. Let's go to the Sun and the Hermit. So the Sun says, shining light on everything around you can be taxing. Take the time to decompress, relax, and reflect on the situation or those around you. Relaxing is one thing, falling into a laze is another. Rejuvenate yourself, but don't put off that which needs addressing for too long. Let's see, the Hermit. Where's the Hermit? Okay, the Hermit. It says, it's okay to be alone for individual contemplation. Be aware of your surroundings and resources. Find contentment in them. It's wonderful to take time or to take in the world solo, but be sure that you're not alienating yourself for fear of what may happen. Oh, interesting. We have the song Down with the Ship. Let's get the details. Let's read. I gotta read if the lyrics come up because she's saying something. Hold on. I don't know why it's calling to me. It just is. So take it however it resonates. Of course, they don't have the lyrics here. So it's Kaylee Morgue, Morgue is how you spell her last name. You may want to Google the lyrics to that song. I really feel like this is for somebody whose father has passed or their father figure. And it's like this father figure is coming through and saying, I know that I was unfair to you. I didn't recognize the gift that I had. Like I was too hard on you. I let my emotions get the better of me too often. But I admire you is what they're saying over here. Interesting. Only one other sign had a very positive reading coming through, and this one feels very much positive, like there's a blessing about to come through with this, but we'll find out. One more, and then we'll get the details of what this was. Oh, interesting that when I picked that up, it took it to the upright. I'm actually going to go and read that one again real quick because I feel like that was, like I didn't mean to do it, but I feel like it means something. Take it however it resonates, if it does or not. But let me just read it one more time. If I can find it, there it is. Things might not be as normal as you're used to, but find what calms you. Pursue a hobby, interest, or person that keeps you sane. Things will normalize soon. Very interesting. Okay. Oh, look at, you've got the 7 of Pentacles or 7 of Crystals on the bottom of the deck, but it's interesting to me that one of those flowers is a skull, right? It's like saying out of death comes beauty, right? Or out of loss or out of pain comes beauty. Just be patient. I know that sounds very trite, especially if this is coming from a parent that was very hard on you. Like, are you serious? Out of pain comes beauty. I would be kind of upset by that, but whatever. Now we have the Nightmare of Daggers. Something about the way she's standing there, it feels very restrictive. It's like you feel very restrictive, or not restrictive, restricted from being able to say what you need to say. Yeah, especially with the Two of Daggers here. It's also like there was a, like, so the Two of Daggers is like intuitively trying to make a decision about something, but I think it's trying to make a decision about what to say. Like you intuitively knew that you needed to keep it inside, or like you did, like you, I don't know, something about that snake around the hand, like, so interesting the way that they're showing this dagger to me. It actually kind of looks like it's jewel encrusted. And so daggers, again, they represent like communication, and this particular dagger is sitting directly over her chakra center, right? So we're sitting over, it looks like sacral, solar plexus, heart, and almost throat chakra. But it doesn't actually quite meet the throat chakra, which I'm not surprised by, because again, I really feel like she feels restricted from saying everything that's going on here. But it's like, it was an intuitive decision that she made herself. So again, take that however it resonates for, see again with the Magician, that just confirms it. So definitely you knew what was going on and you intuitively decided to keep that pain to yourself. Again, this is energy, because it's on the bottom of the deck, this is the energy of the past, everything that happened in the past that led you up to this moment where you're watching this reading. So in the past, you never said anything that you really wanted to say. Now we've got the ethereal, we've got the Tower, we've got Judgment, and the World, all major arcana. God, you know, I got one thing that I have to say, which I don't know if it's related to this or not, but we've got, it's like somebody's house is haunted or something. That's really how this too, right? Actually, all of these are coming through. Actually, now that I look at them, because you've got the skull here on the World, it's like somebody's house is haunted. Okay, so I'm sorry that I'm like pulled into that. I think it's so weird because we've got this energy of like a father figure that's saying, look, I wasn't fair to you, but yet it's the Empress. And so it's saying like there's a mother that might be haunting your house. Like if both of your parents have passed and you've suspected, if your house is haunted, I don't think it's the father, I think it's the actual mother. And with these two cards together, it could be that the mother is upset about, I don't know, well, this whole house is all cracked and it looks like it's getting ready, like, well, I mean, that's what the Tower is, it's getting ready to fall apart, right? But it hasn't actually fallen apart, it's just cracked. So there's something wrong with the structure. So if both of your parents have passed, this is actually both parents acknowledging that the structure, the foundation that you were raised with was not healthy, it was toxic, probably because the mother didn't do a whole lot in terms of the way that the father was, or maybe the mother either supported or whatever, you know. And I feel like this message that's coming through is that I'm sorry, it's like I'm sorry that it ended before we could fix it, or I'm sorry that I died before we could heal this, or I'm sorry that, it's like I'm sorry for all of it, right? That we never had a chance to overcome this. We have the song In My Head, Juice WRLD. Let's look at who's involved. personality traits. We can also look for like astrological signs with this deck. If one of your parents had like either mental health issues or substance abuse issues, that's something that's coming through as well. Unless this is something where you have this issue, but we did start off the reading with the song Sweet Leaf, and now we have this song where he's talking about why he gets high so much, because he's stuck in his head. So the Eight of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, it's like energy of someone who works a lot. Oh. All right, so we've got the Star. And if I remember correctly, this was the son of Lucifer, but he is, he's not evil. The star is a card of hope, right? Actually, let me look up his name again, because when he came out in the other reading, I didn't recognize him, only because I didn't watch all 15 seasons of the show. I only watched, I don't know, the first 5 or 6, I think, something like that. It says, even when it seems as though the odds are stacked against you, the star is a reminder to have hope. You don't have to accept a life you don't want. Remember, you have more power and control over your future than you think you do. Embrace it. The star represents hope, possibility, and purity. Though Jack Klein is the son of Lucifer himself, he takes charge of his own destiny and chooses to fight against evil. An innocent being in a world of monsters, he embodies the innate goodness of the star. Okay. So the star card can be Aquarius energy. Interesting that we have the Seven of Pentacles in this. He looks like a businessman to me. And because we have so many cards, I'm not going to read every character from the book. I'm just going to go by what I'm feeling intuitively. So, Earth sign with the Pentacles here. But so the Seven of Pentacles can be impatient. They work a lot. Probably they're like either a boss or they're in business or something where they would be in charge. We have the song Clock Don't Stop, Carrie Underwood. Yeah, especially when you're talking about someone who's kind of a workaholic and impatient, right? That could be what they say, like the clock doesn't stop. And then now we've got the Four of Wands, like, so the Four of Wands is actually like celebratory energy. So maybe this person likes to party, and we kind of already saw that a little bit with the whole issue of substance abuse. With the Hermit, it could be Virgo, specifically Virgo energy. But beyond that, the Hermit is very introspective, right? Very studious. Intellectual, like they're spiritual as well. Again, this hard worker aspect is coming through, and that's just based on how he's dressed. Now we've got the Lovers, which is Gemini energy, and I think this is the parents, right? It's talking about how they were together a team. They were a team in what happened, or what your childhood was like. And now we've got the Chariot. Interesting. It's another two people again. This is Sam and Dean here, but so it's the Lovers and then the Chariot. It's 6 and then 7. I just realized we have a bunch of major arcana here as well. So again, there was a choice that was made, or decisions that they made together, but they did make them together. And there's, like at the time, they probably thought they were the best decisions, is what I'm getting with this card here, because it's a card of like, how do you move forward, even though there's turmoil, right? Emotional turmoil. So this is Cancerian energy, and this is Pisces energy, but because it is the moon, you can say it's Cancer energy or Cancerian energy again. So take that however it resonates. And the moon can be kind of paranoid, depressive, a little bit fearful, but also there's hope and fantasy attached to the moon as well, your dreams, right? We've got the Ten of Cups. So this is definitely both parents, because the Ten of Cups is about a marriage or family. The Page of Wands and the Hierophant. So the Page of Wands would be fire energy, somebody who's immature, but not like immature in the way of the Knight of Wands. It's more like they're just learning, right? They're just starting out. They're just starting something, right? Possibly even a child attached to this. Maybe this was you. Maybe but no, this is Taurus reading. So even if this is Page of Wands, unless you have fire in your chart. But also this could be saying that in their marriage, like they were just starting out and they didn't really quite understand exactly like themselves, like they were still immature, right? Especially with being with the Hierophant. Because, you know, the Hierophant can be a card of marriage, and we are talking about a couple of parents here. So I think that's basically clarified this, where it's like your parents more than likely both have passed, and they're coming through to say how sorry they are for the way things were and how they didn't really give you a chance. So let's see, how are they planning on taking care of this for you? We have the song Girls Just Want to Have Fun, Cyndi Lauper. So it's like they're saying you have some, especially in the beginning of this, when it talks about someone not acknowledging the gifts that you possess, right? And so when we have the song Girls Just Want to Have Fun, right? Like maybe your parents were really on your case about being responsible and doing, I don't know, schoolwork and all the responsible things, but you were never able to go and do anything creative or fun, like playing, I don't know, but, or if it's not just playing, right, it can be any kind of artistic projects, right? Anything that, where you would just be able to let go. It's almost like they're acknowledging these gifts that you have, like some sort of creative gift or something, especially if you're like, if you want to pursue something that you feel passionate about, that would be fun for you, right? Or maybe they're just trying to bring in good things with this song, but it kind of feels like they're saying, because of the way that the lyrics are on this song, where it talks about, you know, the mom talking about what you're going to do with your life, and the dad saying this and that, right? It's like they were really hard on you to be responsible, but they didn't give you a chance to be creative, is how I'm taking it. Okay. So now we have the King of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. It says, Dan the Third is forced to dig his own grave. Interesting that it's a king again on the bottom of the deck here, right? It's like, it's like, I think like the, oh, and then we have the Magician. So interesting. It's like and then we have the Queen of Coins. Look at that. The King of Coins with the Queen of Coins, and then the Magician. Like and then the Star. Ooh, interesting. Like they are really making it, it's like they are literally tandem. They're saying in tandem, they're creating something for you. Oh, interesting. Hold on. Let's look at, like it could be love, because it was talking about somebody's second wife, where it says Dan the Third's second wife on the Queen of Coins. Or excuse me, no, Justina something is Vlad's second wife. Okay, I thought this was this Dan the Third, but it's not. Anyway, okay, so look at, we've got the Chariot and the Moon again, the Knight of Cups and the Seven of Swords. Interesting. So the Seven of Swords is typically energy of like betrayal, right? And the keywords on the bottom here, or the captions, say Vlad's narrow escape, and you see there's all these archers pointed at his head, right? But he narrowly escapes this betrayal. It's probably the betrayal of a water sign, whoever this water sign was that betrayed you, right? Take that however it resonates. Radu, the handsome, Vlad's brother. But then you've got the moon where it says Vlad is betrayed by the Hungarians, right? It's like he is betrayed by his own family, but then he's victorious over it. Hold up, let me see. And I do feel like this is two separate things. There are two separate situations that they're going to work or help for you. One of them has to do with a water sign that possibly tried to betray you, but they're going to help you narrowly escape some betrayal that's coming from a water sign, I think, right here. Could even be from someone that you were romantically involved with. And look at, now we've got the Nine of Cups, the Lovers, and the Three of Swords. Interesting. If you're looking for love, I think your parents are bringing love in for you, just based on what's coming here, because this is the Three of Swords, right? So this is the pain, the heartache after the betrayal, right? But you can see that each person has been basically like executed or whatever, right? So it's like, it's helping you to heal. They're helping you to heal this pain, right? Helping you to kill this pain so that you can have, because right here it's talking about Vlad and his wife, right? And the other one was talking about Vlad's second wife. So maybe, like, if somebody betrayed you romantically right now, and that's really what you're interested or worried about right now, but what the bigger injustice was, what happened to you as a kid, right? Like, I feel like what this reading is saying is whatever your parents, like how you were raised as a kid in your parents' situation, that has made it hard for you in some way to have like a relationship now. And that is what they're bringing in for you, is a relationship. And I think it's going to be a fulfilling relationship. Let's see what crystals you need to like heal and let go and embrace this relationship that they're bringing in. Interesting, we have the song Waiting for a Girl Like You, Foreigner. One more. Right there. Okay, so we have Tanzanite on the bottom of the deck. It's Angelic Messenger. We have Sunstone, Moldavite, and Chrysoprase. Yeah, it's pretty clear why you're meant to use these crystals, but mainly because this one's about fearless movement. I think you might be afraid. It's like, with this, it's like you're afraid to let your real self shine or something, let who you truly are shine. But don't be. Do it anyway, regardless, because that is how you're going to heal and get past the situation. And I think you're meant to use these together. I feel like you just need to like carry them with you or something, like, to be honest. I don't really, like so many of the other groups, I felt like it was either meditation or jewelry or something, but this one I feel like if you just take them and put them in a little organza bag, you can put, I don't know, things like lavender and chamomile and like soothing herbs into the bag with you to help keep you fearless, right? To help soothe the anxiety that you're feeling when it comes to allowing yourself to shine. Okay, so this tanzanite, oh, and clear quartz. Oh, and then, interesting. This is where I feel like the meditation is coming in. Heart chakra for the sujolite, however you say that. I'm probably saying it wrong, at least somehow, one or both ways. So put this one on your heart chakra. Clear quartz on the throat chakra, tanzanite on the third eye. And then carry the others with you. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and leave that here. I hope it resonates. If it does not, please watch for your sun, moon, or rising. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, tell your friends, anything that you can to help me, because it definitely helps me, and I thank you very much for watching.